This video has nothing to do with freeze drying, has nothing to do with gluten-free cooking, and definitely has nothing to do with raising chickens other than I'm going to be using a couple of eggs. What I'm about to do is going against promises I made long ago, but I thought, heck, it's almost Christmas time, so why not do it? So I'm going to share with you my secret scone recipe. Now, something about scones. Scones are made to be fried just the way heaven intended them to be. If you want to bake a scone, that's fine, but that's just a weird looking type of cake. So real scones are boiled or fried in delicious oil. So on we go. So we're going to start here with 1 quart of warm buttermilk. Okay. And to that, we're adding 2 tablespoons of yeast. And we're going to mix this up. Let the little yeasties have some fun down in here and have them eat the buttermilk and have them make the carbon dioxide. And then we're going to add some sugar in with the yeast and the buttermilk. We're going to stir that up. And we're going to let this sit just for a few minutes to let the yeast do their little thing in here, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we've had a chance for the yeast to do their things, and to that we're going to add 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. So that's for all the wet mixtures. To this, we're going to add between 10 and 12 cups worth of flour. It kind of depends on how much moisture is going to be in your eggs, but we're going to go ahead and add 10 cups of flour right now and see how that does. And then we're going to mix it up, and depending on how moist the dough is, I'm holding back the 11th cup to add while mixing to see how everything goes. If needed, I can add a 12th cup. So once this has been kneaded thoroughly, we now need to let this rise. So we're going to go ahead and stick it back in the bowl. So we're going to stick this in the refrigerator and let this raise overnight. We're going to cover this with plastic wrap so that it doesn't dry out. Just like that. The dough has been chilled overnight. It's nice and cold, ready to be rolled out. Now, since we're going to be making scones, which are basically rectangular or square in shape, then we need to roll this out as close to a square or rectangular as possible. So we're just going to help this along. And we want to roll this out to about a ½ inch thick. And while I'm rolling this out and shaping it, My deep fryer is heating up to 375 degrees. So depending on the shape or the size, I like going to rectangles. Oh, about maybe 2 to 3 inches wide and 4 to 5 inches long. Depends on just how you want to do it. Now, it's good to separate these because they will continue to rise. And if you don't separate them, they'll actually grow into each other. And it'll be hard to separate later on. We just have to wait for the fat to get hot, or the oil to get hot, and then we can go ahead and cook these. The oil is all hot, and now we're ready to fry these in it. And there's a special way that I like to fry these. So if I pick this off from the countertop, this side is the top and this is underneath is the bottom. This is going to be the warm side and this is going to be a cool side. So we want to just give this just a little bit of a stretch and lay them down so the cool side is up. For some reason, when the cool side, which is also going to be the moist side, is up, they have a tendency to kind of balloon a little bit, and that makes them really good. That way you can kind of put all that honey butter inside the crevices inside. And we're going to leave them in here till they're nice and golden brown. You can kind of see how some of these are starting to balloon up. Once they're golden brown, we're going to flip them over and do the other side. That's not quite ready yet. And with this size of a fryer, I can probably do about 5, maybe 6 at a time, so I'll be doing many batches of these until all 48 are done. And then a scone is not a scone without honey butter.